Hello, fellow modelers, Bruce here. For loyal followers, you saw me build the first of my great-grandchild series of structures late last December, early January of this year, 2024. And it was Aubrey's Apparel, made out of a modified 70-year-old kit. And it's time for me to build the second of those great-grandchild structures. This one a much more modern kit from Bar Mills. It was their kit 252, Jerry's small engine repair. And I asked for it for Christmas from our youngest son, and he gave it to us. You have to realize our youngest son is fast approaching 50 years old, and is a pilot for Delta Airlines. But the subject of this build, young Isaac, is about 3 years old, a little over 3 years old. And this will be Isaac's Ironworks. And this kit will lend itself nicely to that, this small engine repair setup. As you all know, I'm sure, young Isaac is a wizard at welding, in both fabricating railings and iron fences, but also well known for repairing heavy equipment with his welder. And that's the kind of business that Isaac runs. So let's take a look at what's inside this kit, and we can get on with the construction. What we have here is the instruction sheet for Jerry's small engine repair, soon to be Isaac's Ironworks. Bar Mills has just issued a load of very interesting small to medium-sized structures that can fit on almost any HO layout, and it's certainly not the first one that I've built, and will not be the last if you look at my shelf of accumulated kits. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Their instructions are very good. Read them through. And if you go to their website, barmillsmodels.com, and just look down a little bit on the main page, you'll see that there's a downloadable PDF file called Craftsman Kits 101. And if you get a nice cup of coffee, sit in your easy chair, and read through that, you'll pick up a lot of good tips for building Craftsman kits, whether you're a beginner or intermediate or even a well-practiced kit builder. It'll be a good read. So I really suggest that you download that and take a look at it. All right, let's do a quick look at the instruction sheets. More pictures of different angles of this kit. And, you know, it's always different roof lines and additions and so forth that make a model interesting. And this little kit certainly has that. And over here in this little lean-to addition on the right-hand side, this roof is very interesting. It's supposed to be a canvas roof, and they use tissue paper to build that. And I might use the tissue paper, or I might use my other favorite go-to for canvas, which is used tea bags. We'll see. So follow along and you'll see. So yeah, you know, the usual good instructions, what to find in the kit, all the parts and how they are laid out and where to find them. And there they all are. Some more of those diagrams and instructions, and on we go with the build. I just want to tell you that you know, sometimes I describe instructions as minimalist, but Bar Mills is not in that category. They have very good instructions, and oh, look at that at the end, even a mini clinic on how to do some rolled roofing. So that's the instruction sheet. And inside is some window and door castings. and some metal castings for detailing around it. Of particular interest to me is there are some castings in there of acetylene and oxygen cylinders for a welding shop. So those will be fun to play with. And then also nicely sealed all the laser cut parts for the kit. And you will see me open that shortly. And what I will do is, while they're still on the sprue there, while they're still in their carrier sheets, I'm going to get a rattle can of gray primer and give everything a good coat both sides, or a light coat I should say. And that kind of stabilizes it for any future painting and acts as a good basis. And then down in the bottom is some roofing materials, which I may or may not use. If you've followed along before, you know I have some of my own favorite roofing materials, and I very well might use those instead. So that's where we are, and when you see me next, probably have sprayed the raw materials with my gray primer, and like to do that while the weather is still nice, and then we will proceed with the build. I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, time for a quick update. First of all, laying out here are the detail items, the castings that were included with the kit. This dowel is to my knowledge, just for some vents and smokestack kind of things. But yeah, a bunch of white metal castings, some plastic castings, and I haven't cleaned them up yet. There's some flash on them. I may or may not use those because I have loads of detailed castings from my previous layout already cleaned up and painted. Since this is going to be a welding shop, these oxygen and acetylene containers, if I can't find my other ones, I'll clean those up and paint them. Got some vents and smoke jacks. Those will get cleaned up and painted. In the meantime, I gave all the wood parts, first of all, a coat of light gray primer from a rattle can. Then I came back over it with a pecan brown color paint and gave it a fairly light coat on that. And on this set, which is the main walls for the larger building, I've let some of the gray show through. So that's all done. The plastic windows were primed and painted a darker brown. That will contrast with that. This is trim boards that will go over these wooden doors that they have supplied. They get glued on top. And these boards that I painted darker brown are again trim for the main building. So things are painted. Next I'm going to start cutting things off of their carrier strips and sprues. Touch up any paint that needs it, and then I can start assembling. Talk to you again soon. This is a quick update on the build of Isaac's Iron Works, Bar Mills kit, Jerry's small engine repair. The walls for the main structure are what I'll call semi slot and tab construction. They do not have slots and tabs to adjoin the walls, but they do have slots and tabs to adjoin the walls to the floor, which is very handy. But I don't care whose kit it is. If it's slot and tab, always test fit. Always, always, always test fit, which is what I'm doing right now with the last of the walls, which is this front wall, which is just sitting in here. There's a tab here and a tab here, and I'll take this out in a minute to show you the tabs, but it fits fine. There we go. And you can see two tabs here and two slots here. And you just want to make sure they fit properly. If not, you take a file and work on one set or the other until they do fit fine. The construction here, as far as gluing the walls together, is that you first glued contrasting color, in my case, corner trim, which is a 1/16 of an inch square, and glue that trim in place, trim off the slant roof sides to get the right angle, and then you glue the walls together to those corner posts. If you're seeing this, probably 1 or 2 videos prior to this, I will have posted a video just devoted to the 3 ways that I typically use to create corners on my structures. And gluing corner posts to the end walls, or whichever one has the slant roofs, first, and then gluing the other walls to those corner trim pieces is one of the 3 ways. So you can look that video up and see the other 2 ways. So what I'm going to do now is glue this wall in place, and then on the main structure, which is this, the only thing left would be to glue this upper wall piece in place. And again, that goes to the corner posts, and I will do that. You should know here, if you look at it, that I have painted a strip black on the siding, and that's because I'm going to use white dry transfer letters to write out Isaac's Ironworks. So when you see it next, the walls of the main structure should be together. This should have the Isaac's Ironworks letters on it, and I'll probably be working on this little shed addition that's on this side of the building. All right, talk to you then. For those following along, it's time for a quick update on where I am on the build of the Bar Mills Jerry's Small Engine Repair kit that I'm building up as one of the great-grandchildren's series. It's going to be Isaac's Ironworks. If you recall, the kit really has 3 parts to it. One is this main structure here. One is a little shed that's off on the left. So if you look at this picture, that's the main building and the shed on the left. You can see a few things yet. I haven't put any of the vents or chimneys. And whereas they used tar paper on the main roof and wood shingles on the small one, I reversed that on my build. But that's where we are at this point. And there's the dry transfers. I have put a sign up above on this front of the building that says Isaac's Ironworks. And on this side I have the double doors glued open. I'll put a few detailed items that you can see through those doors. So that's kind of where we are. Build's going through just as designed. The last, or third part of the kit is off to the right on this side of the building, and it's a kind of lattice work, open framed shed that sits back a little bit and off on that side, kind of as you see in this picture here. So that's what I'm working on right now, and once I'm done with that, then it's down to adding the vents on the roof, the chimneys, adding some detail items, and so forth. So we'll pick the video up then. Thanks for following along. Quick update on the little lean-to. Here I have framed out a roof, a set of roof joists for the little overhang to give you the look that you see here in this picture. The kit did not provide a diagram. They said take a look at the picture to see what we have in mind, and that's what I've done. When I actually glue this in place, I will probably move it to give it a little more overhang in the front and less in the back. But there it is. So now a little gluing, putting all that together, and then putting the canvas roof on. See you then. Continuing working on the canvas roof on the lean-to, I first put down a layer of regular tissue paper, and then painted it a roof brown. And the reason I did that was this tea bags are so transparent that, and I want to leave the color this way, that if I didn't do that first, you would just see all the wood supports underneath the thin layer of canvas, and I didn't want that. So I've put on that tissue and painted it, and what I still have, and I'm hoping if I move this in enough to, yeah, I think you can see it there, is you can see the roof beams protruding, and I want those to show through the top layer of canvas. So next I will use some super glue and glue the tea bag on and continue on with the canvas roof. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm at that point in the build where I need to paint some of the detail items that were provided by Bar Mills. Certainly not going to use them all. They gave a whole bunch of great details, and I'll save these for future builds, or a lot of them anyway, the ones I don't use. But the chimney, I have started to paint with a brick color. Still have more work to do on it, get some concrete color up on the top of the chimney. This was a casting they had that had some crates and barrels. You can see I painted at this point the barrel, one of my favorite red colors, which is a craft paint. Mixed up a color brown by mixing a few different craft paints together to get something for the crates, which leaves me a can here, the tire, which is going to be black, but the inner part I'm going to paint an aluminum color. So that has a couple more things to be painted. This is a little workbench sitting on two 55-gallon drums. Workbench is painted brown, the drum's red, and I'm getting ready to paint some of the detail items. And here's a stack of 4 welding canisters, both oxygen and acetylene. I remember when my father used to use these, the oxygen canisters were green and the acetylene were black, so I'm going to do that. So yeah, into that painting stage, and for me I have to wait till the day where my hands are reasonably steady, which today's were pretty good. So I'm just going to get a little bit of aluminum paint here on my small brush and start painting that little canister that's down, tucked underneath some of the other debris in this stack. You see I picked the paint up off of the stirrer rather than dipping my brush in there. This casting is big enough that I can hold on to the casting itself to do the painting. And that's good enough for that canister. Just paint the center part of this wheel. If I go out of the lines a little bit, I'll tidy that up when I do the black for the tire. Painting these detail items, when you get to that part of any kit build, it is time consuming, but the detail items can really make a scene. So yeah, you just gotta take the time to do it. And what else do I want to do? On the workbench is a tiny little can sticking up. I want to paint that the aluminum color. I'll make it stand out a bit. There's some tools on there too, and I might use a Sharpie to color those. We'll see. I'll either come back with this small brush and do it, or get a Sharpie here. So that little can is now painted in aluminum color, and just the tops of the two acetylene containers, which are the shorter, chubbier ones. When things, I can't hold on to them directly, I put them on a tongue depressor using a tape that is designed for putting things into scrapbooks, photo mounting tape, and it has just the right amount of stickiness to hold on to the detail parts. So that's it, and then let these dry a little bit, and then it will be probably the black paint next. Okay. I think that'll do it for now. So I'll clean these up, brush and this little mess that I made here, and after that, leave that dry so I don't mess that up, and move on to the next color. All right, you'll see these details again when they're ready. Talk to you later. Well, we're getting on with this build of Isaac's Ironworks, made from the little bar mills kit. I will mount it on this piece of gator board because it has this addition on it that is kind of fragile sitting out there. I will attach it with a little glue to the main building, but still not the kind of thing you want to leave off of a base. And if you cut your base to a nice dimension, you can fit it nicely into your layout. This is the same thickness as the cork that I use on top of the layout, so it blends in nicely. The chimney is painted and glued on, but now I'll come back, put some tar down around the base of the chimney, and then weather the chimney. These still have to be weathered, the roof shingles. There's another pipe vent that'll go up here. Probably a lamp by this door. So some odds and ends, and then since I'm mounting it on a base, probably a little bit of basic detailing of items, painted items, barrels, crates, that kind of stuff around the outside. And I'll come back when that's ready and finish this video up. You can see over, let me come back over here on this shed and get in a little bit better on that roof, I guess, if we can. And you can see, I think, that the roof, I put some slats to hold down the canvas made from the tea bags. So that's, the third type of roofing. So I have these two roofs with cedar shakes. This side has the canvas tarp over the lean-to held down by slats, and on this side you have the tar paper roof. Alrighty, talk to you then later. Bye-bye. Well, here it is done. The Bar Mills Jerry's Small Engine Repair that I made up as Isaac's Ironworks, named after our second of 5 great-grandchildren. And it's got a cute styling to it that caught my eye because it has an interesting roof line here, two levels of roofing. It has 3 separate components, the lattice work lean-to over here, that I used a tea bag to make a canvas roofing for. I got a little addition on this side, the shed that was part of the kit. I did change all the roofing material around to use my own stuff. Used different lamps for over the door, like this door on this end here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on it. That's a Tichy light over the door there. Modeled the door open here, and I can't see it so good with this lighting here, but that door is modeled open. Some detailing inside the open shed. A few detail items on the outside to catch your eye, and lightly weathered. Some dry brushing on the shingles here to give it some something that made it pop, and that's it. It's just a nice little kit, and another one that's in the great-grandchild series of kits. The next oldest great-grandchild is a young lady named Quinn, and I have a couple of ideas of what to do for her, and might very well get to that right after Christmas. I am finishing this video up on December 19th, 2024, and so after this Christmas I will pull out a kit and start working on another kit in the great-grandchild series. I want to thank you for following along. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have not already done so, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. All right, talk to you again soon.